Alright guys, today we got a pretty special product review for you guys. I already opened it, so I have a little bit of a sneak peek, and I'm really excited about this one. So this is another aquarium light review. I have an aquarium product here that I'm going to do the unboxing, I'm going to do the opening, I'm going to do the testing, I'm going to let you know my thoughts on it so you know if this is the right product for you. So the aquarium lighting company, their name is Wills, W-I-L-L-S, and they went ahead and sent me out this aquarium. This light is a freshwater and a saltwater light. It has both modes, so I'm kind of skeptical whether or not it will be beneficial for a full freshwater planted tank, but let's go ahead and dive in and see. Once I open this thing, I can see the foam topper, so I'm grateful that they have pretty good packaging and that the light won't be damaged. And as soon as I take off the topper, I see this massive light. This thing is huge, and look at all the LEDs on this thing. I brought my tape measures so we can kind of measure exactly how big the actual light is. The light is 15.5 inches long by 8.5 inches wide. So this is a pretty big light. And if I take it out, I can feel it. It's pretty dense, right? This thing is probably about 5 or 6 pounds. It's not light. And if I feel the light itself, the casing's metal, so this light feels pretty high quality, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm liking what I see and what I feel so far. The only thing is, this is different than most of all the lights that I have. I do not have a light like this that doesn't sit on your aquarium. So this light actually has to be hung up, and it comes with some steel cables, and we're gonna look at those in just one second. But let's get a better look at the light. So here's kind of the LED panel, here's the plug area, and then here's the on-off switch. So it does have a massive, kind of obnoxious on-off switch. Not a deal breaker, but just kind of obnoxious. I wish they would have made it maybe blend in, so aesthetically it kind of fits with the whole thing, but they made it a bright red. Noticeable, yes. Is it aesthetic? Probably not. Then we have the control nozzles here. It looks like you can dial in how much white you want and how much blue you want. And I do like that these nozzles they feel to be metal as well, so they didn't cheap out on that. And then whenever I do turn them, I can hear that initial click to show that it is now on. So you can turn the blue off and then on to control the brightness of the blue or the white. So I do like those subtle little details. They are subtle, but I definitely like it. The other thing I notice about this light is it has these fans on the back, which makes me think that it's probably gonna get pretty hot, but they have fans, so hopefully that mitigates that. This is LEDs, so it shouldn't get too hot, but I did see that this is 165 watts, which is insane. Just to give you a, I guess a comparison, if you get a normal light that sits on top of your aquarium, the little strip, right, that is about 30 to 45 watts. So this thing's like triple to quadruple the number of watts. So it's gonna use a lot more energy, but does that mean it's gonna be a lot brighter? I hope so. But let's see what else we have. So the next thing I see here is the plug. Now I'm definitely disappointed with the plug. This plug's a little bit on the short end. I like my plugs to be, I think the standard should be about 6 feet. I don't think you should make a plug that's any less than 6 feet. Otherwise, you're just gonna have lots of limitations, and that means I probably have to go out and get an extension cord now, which is not ideal. So I'm not happy about how short the plug is. So Wills, definitely upgrade to a minimum of a 6-footer, because I think that will be more beneficial and less limitations. The other thing that's in the box is the steel cable. So this is how it holds and suspends your light above your aquarium. So it looks like it comes with like a cable clip kind of thing with 4 steel cables that attach to each end or each corner of the aquarium light. So before we hang it up, let's go ahead and get this thing plugged in and see exactly how bright it is and what the different modes can do. Alright, so I already had to get an extension cable just to do the light up part here. I have a feeling I'm going to need an extension cable just to put it over my aquarium, but we will see. Let's go ahead and get it plugged in. So it is plugged on. I'm guessing this is on. Oh, All right, so I have it plugged on. It looks like the just straight line is the on, the circle is off. So we'll put it on, and then once it is on, you still have to turn the knob so you hear it click to go fully on. So I'm gonna turn the white nozzle on, and we can see that's all the different colors. If I do more white, we can see, it's getting pretty bright. Really bright, and the colors that show are the white, the yellow, the red, and the green. If we turn that off, let's try the blue. So here is the blue. This is only the blue lights. And as soon as I turn it up to a certain extent, it will turn on the fans. I can hear the fans on now. And then I turn it down, the brightness of the blue. And so, yeah, this thing is pretty bright, I'm not gonna lie. So we'll have the light on with
That's a nice
the blue, and this is kind of what you get. So without the blue, with the blue, and let's do without the colors and the white. So this is just blue. And so this is pretty interesting. I kind of like this light. This is a pretty cool light. Now, let's see how much of a headache it's gonna be to figure out how we're gonna get this up. Because essentially with what they sent you, you have to have some kind of infrastructure set up above your tank for you to even use this light. So it does come with the cables, but you're gonna have to have something for it to latch onto. So that either means you need to have some kind of canopy above it, or you need to attach something to your ceiling that this then attaches to. A lot of different options, but you got to keep that in mind. It doesn't come with this kit. You have to have that separate. So if we turn it over, I'm going to go ahead and attach the 4 corners, and then we'll get it up above the tank. So it seems to just go on pretty easily. Let's see if we can do each corner. Alright, so each corner's on. When I pull it up, it seems to be somewhat level, maybe slightly tilted that way. So let me see if that's, how can I adjust that? It seems to be slightly tilted to the end where the plug is. So I think you got to keep that in mind. It may not be 100% level because of the weight of the plug is going to pull it that way to some degree. Let's see if I turn this thing around, if it kind of levels it out even more. So when I turn it around, it becomes slightly more level, but I feel like it's still unlevel because of the weight of the plug. So we can see if we can mitigate that once we have it up in the air. But let's talk about this thing just as a whole. So this system is pretty interesting, right? I wish this part was longer, just like canister filters. They give you a ton of tubing and then you cut it to size. I wish they gave you a ton of steel wire and you cut it to size. Granted that you'll probably have to have some kind of special tool to cut it, but that way there's less limitations again. All right, so let's go ahead and get this light hung up and let's see just exactly how powerful it is. So the light and the cables as is, I had a little mounting device up there because I had a light up there before just to light some plants in the area. But you can tell that the cables need to be a lot longer because ideally I would want this light to be all the way, maybe a foot from the tank. So I gotta figure out, since it didn't come with anything, I gotta figure out how I can make that happen. So I found these extra chain links that I'm gonna attach to that light up there, just so I can drop it down from the ceiling. I probably have about 2 feet, so I'm hoping this is enough because like I said before, it didn't come with anything extra in the kit. Now what would be nice if it came with something like this, or even something more discreet, where it was an optional add-on, where if you wanted to drop it because you're connected to your ceiling versus connecting it to some kind of pole system that you have, that you would have the option to get it to the height that you want. But it didn't come with that. So we're gonna add this and see if we can get it a little bit lower. That is actually perfect. All right, now that we got the light set up top, let's go ahead and turn off the lights that we have on currently and see if we can kind of see the difference between a light that stays on top and the Wills light. All right, here we have just the Wills light. No other aquarium lights are on, just the Wills light. So now we're going to turn off the Wills light and just do one of the other lights just to see a comparison. All right, the Wills light is off. Let's go ahead and turn on the other light. So the other light is brighter, right? I can see more with that one. Let's go ahead and try it again. That light off.
So the Wills light is not as bright as the sit on top light. Now, there's a few factors that I think are playing into this. One, the Wills light doesn't span the entire 4 foot of the tank like the sit on top of the light does, the other aquarium light. Because the one that sits on top is 4 feet. It's the whole length of the tank. Now, the Wills is only 18 inches. And so as you can see, because of that, it's leaving a lot of dark spots. So is this light great for a planted tank? I think it can be, but it's more tailored to a reef tank. And if you have a tank that's smaller, then yeah, this will suffice. And I think it'll be really good for tanks where you're growing plants out of the water. That's where this light can be more useful. So if you're running a full planted tank, I would not recommend this light unless it is around the same size as your aquarium, and you're looking for immersed growth. I think this light would be perfect for a smaller tank, maybe a 3 foot to a 2 foot tank where you have lots of immersed growth growing out of your tank. I think that'll look very beautiful, and this light would do just fine doing that.
So there you have it, guys. This is the Wills light. It's a pretty cool light, very high quality, very bright. But there are some cons to getting this light. One being the cord is entirely too short, needs a much longer cord in my opinion. The other thing is I wish this cable system was much longer and preferably adjustable or had components that were optional to use. And then lastly, because this is a kind of one size fits all, this will have to be used on an aquarium that is similar to size of this light here. I believe on their website they only have 3 sizes and they're about the same dimensions in nature. There is one that's slightly longer, a little bit bigger. But with that being said, the brightness that it offers is pretty neat, and I'll probably use this on one of my smaller aquariums going forward. Alright, that's all guys. Hope you enjoyed the review. Let me know your thoughts if you have this light on some of the cons and some of the pros that I pointed out. Till next time guys.